Hello again, welcome to this second class of the free FEM course. Today we will explain you how to use the graphical user interface of CivilFEM. We will cover these topics, okay? How to customize your windows and as well to customize the quick access and hotkeys when using the mouse, which are the controls, typical controls, and how to select entities, how to use the properties window, how to enter data, as well show you the capabilities of the HUD tool. We'll see that better now with the software. This is the main window. How to customize, as I explained you in the first class. All windows can be dockable, can be placed anywhere using. You can see this, and you can put, if some windows are not activated, you can do it here, highlighting or the corresponding window, and some windows can be placed as tabs to other existing ones. Okay, I have the groups one and I can place it here if I want. Way of customizing the software is adding here, this is a quick buttons, okay, a quick access to bar. We can add by the folder open and save the model, but you can always set more commands here, and depending on the category you can set here, for example, a concrete material if you want. It will be added here as well. We can add shortcuts with the keyboard, hotkeys. For example, this we can set some commands which are very commonly used. You can set here, pressing, for example, this will assign it, or to delete, here we can set here as well. Okay, and for example, to create a geometry we can add a quadrilateral by 4 points. Or we can customize a button as well. And set it here if we want. Okay. What else? We have the style button to change some of the colors. Here. And well, if we want to change the colors of the model view, the background color, we can change it in here. Even we can set to gradient color. Okay, so we can start creating a simple example so we can see how to operate with the mouse controls and the selection of entities. For example, we can create geometry. We can always this is the HUD window tool, can be activated or activated here in the view tab. Will help you to select your entities. By default, the selection of entities is activated for volumes, surfaces, lines and points, but later we can change these options. The grid can be very helpful if we want to create some entities. By default, if you click here, we have a grid of square of 100 by 100, and the spacing is of 1 meter. We can change it. We can set, for example, just 30 meters, and we can change this and set half a meter of spacing. The center is at the 0, 0, 0 with respect to the global Cartesian, and we set X, Z axis as the vertical one. Okay, and here it is. So now we have the grid. We can I set the 100 here. We can see the graphical list, the global Cartesian. We can here, clicking any entity, a contextual menu will appear, and you can always view that entity or hide it. Okay, here I have, so I know here is my center. Okay, I can, as I set a grid here with the spacing of half a meter. Okay, I can use this grid to create, for example, I can use a quad. I can click my quick button, or I can use my fast access, which was my keyboard keys. Okay, was I set control caps plus Q, so I can set my quadrilateral here. How can I set my quadrilateral? I can set my coordinates one by one, or I can use the grid. Okay, here I set it. I can, when I finish, I can just click OK, or if I want to create another one, just click OK and new. and we have a fast control, which is, besides going here and click OK or OK New, I can use the keys, the caps keys. If I press my cap key while clicking the last point, it will create automatically my entity. Okay, if I do it again, instead of if I want to create a new one after this entity, instead of caps key, I can press Control key. If I press Control key, okay, I finish this one, but I can start another one. Okay, and now I press again caps key, and here I have it. I will deactivate my grid. Here I have my entities. Okay, I have defined only surfaces, but of course any surface has lower level entities, which are lines and key points. If I want to, for example, explode it with the, I can obtain any entity. Here I have now my points, and I can have my curves. Okay, I can always set my different names and change quad 2, quad 1, quad 3, and well, I can, if I want to hide an entity, or I can select with the Control key pressed, I can select different entities, and I can set different views. Here is the translucent, wire, or hide, and I can as well select everything by with the mouse. The selection is very similar to other CAD software, depending if you well, create a box with a box selection with the mouse, but it depends if you do it from right to left. Okay, you can see any entity which is inside the box but doesn't need to be completely inside, it will be selected. But if it's from left to right, only the entities which are completely inside the box will be selected. Okay, in this case just one. Okay, from right to left and from left to right. Here you can see as well in the entities window, the one which is highlighted is the one which is selected, and the properties will be shown here. Okay, of course the points can be always changed. You can use it here, okay, and even change the plane. In this case we are operating in at 0 level, but we can always change it, and it will be automatically updated. Okay, so this HUD tool will help us to select some entities as well. If I only want to select, in this case we don't have volumes, but if I only want to select points, okay, not all entities, I can make a selection and only the entities which are highlighted here will be selected. In this case, only points. If I want to add curves as well, then all the curves. Remember that I can want to select this. Okay. You only want to select curves. Here I have them. Okay. So if I go back here, I can delete, for example, all this. I think was Control plus D. Yes, I used my hotkey Control plus D. It's the one which the controls I assigned. So what else? I can deactivate my global Cartesian. Yes, I used points, setting it manually using the grid, but of course there's something very useful, which are the parameters, and the parameters can be as complex as you want, because parameters can be with dimensions. Okay, the type can be real number, integer, or even vectors. Okay, and we can use as well a formula and even units. Okay, can have no dimension, but we can set dimensions. Okay, example here, you can set value of 2, and then here, if I type it, okay, you see that it takes the same value. I can set another one and set dimensions here of length, and the unit will be defined here. And I can set even a formula. It can be using previous parameters, and it will be here. Okay, it can be meters or centimeters, well, or any unit defined here. Okay, but if I have to be important that the units will be take into account here. Okay, I set here my parameter I can always display my units as I wish. Okay, regardless the units that I used for the definition of the parameters of the definition of my geometry, I can always change them. The default ones are always the ones defined here by default international system units. But of course, we can show you in the first class, in the presentation, we can always change the default ones. This one will take the default ones, but you can always, if you change one, it will be updated. Okay, if I go back here, for instance, if I set this in inches, if I set my units to international, all the units which are set by default will take the international system, but the modified ones will stay in the same units I put before. Okay, this is very useful if you want to perform many processes, and instead changing the data manually one by one, you can set the parameters here, and you change the value, and the model will be automatically updated. Okay, that's all for today's class. Well, this is all for today's class. Please always stay tuned to the virtual classroom for any news, for any announcement, a new exercise. Always, if you have any question, please ask us anytime. Thank you very much. See you in the free course.